So Callum, how you feeling now? Just a couple of days on from the weekend, Monday.
Yeah, I think it's obvious, isn't it? Really deflated as anything, disappointed. Yeah, it's just obviously it's tough. It's difficult for everyone in the building, outside the building, everyone associated with the club. Yes, obviously it's difficult.
What was it like when the final whistle blew on Monday? Because I think, it was on the cards, but it still wasn't sealed till Monday, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, we still didn't believe that we was going to be in a situation. We generally believed that we was going to do everything in our powers, but unfortunately, it didn't go that way. Obviously, it's my second time here now, so I care a lot about the club. I've had some really good memories here. Met some great people, staff. I've got a good connection with the fans as well. So, personally, I'm really disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because you're a lone player, but a player with a difference, aren't you? Because it's your second spell, and as you say, you must have made a connection in that time with all the people here.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I think especially this season with the fans, more than last time. Played a lot of games. I've been heavily involved through the good and the bad. So, as I say, I'm really disappointed, and I feel a real connection to the club. And obviously, I can only speak for myself, but I know we've let the fans down. As I say, personally, but I know that everyone at the club is going to fight and get the club back, hopefully next year.
So what's it been like then since the weekend? You said it's obviously been a pretty low mood, but you've got to prepare for 2 more games starting with Chesterfield away.
For sure, yeah. You don't not prepare, do you? You're preparing the same way it's a game. You want to still represent the club. Personally, I know I'll give 100% like I do every game, from the first to the last whistle. The preparation from the staff are the same. All the players train properly. So we go into the game like we do, but obviously the situation is what it is and we can't change that now. So for the last 2 games of this season in the league, we'll do everything we can, yeah.
And you mentioned the supporters. There's going to be quite a big travelling support, despite the fact that there's nothing to play for. It's the last game for the foreseeable in the EFL. There's a duty to the travelling supporters this weekend as well, I guess.
No, they've been fantastic all year. I think everyone's mentioned it. They've followed the numbers, whether it's on the Tuesday night, I think it was, to Wimbledon. They've come everywhere with us. So, as I say, it doesn't go unnoticed. And as I say, the connection from myself with them this year, I've really felt. So it definitely doesn't go unnoticed, like I said, yeah. So we'll look forward to seeing them on Saturday.
When you look back now, is there one point when you think, yeah, that was the moment when, with hindsight, our fate was sealed? Was it the poor start, the 1-0 defeats at the start of the season, or that sort of recovery and then defeat to Doncaster in that game in hand? When was it?
I definitely don't think it was that early. No, I don't think so. I think in the early part of the season, as we say, it's a brand new squad. I think some of the performances were really good and I'm positive. They've got established teams in the games where it was 1-0, for example, Doncaster away. Everyone's made mistakes throughout the season, which have all led to where we are. But I definitely don't think it was that early, and neither the second Doncaster game either. There's plenty to play for. I'd only say at the Monday's game is when it really sets in, because until that, it's mathematically possible. Anything can happen in football. Unfortunately, the cookie hasn't crumbled for us in the way we'd have liked. But I know that everyone. Well, I can speak for myself, but I know all the players and the staff and everyone around the clubs give 100% in everything we've done in every game. Maybe at times we've lacked the final pass or the final cross or that little bit of defending we could have done better. But through fight and spirit and things like that, I don't think that anyone can question anything from us this year.
And was there a period, probably not so long ago, when you really thought you could pull away? There was those back-to-back wins, wasn't there? Did you think, this is on?
For sure, yeah. I think we always thought that. As I said, it's been a positive group. The staff has kept us positive. The players, we always have had a good togetherness throughout the season, supporting each other, whoever's played. So I do really believe that we thought that we could get us out of the situation. As I say, unfortunately, it hasn't happened. But when we went back to back, I think results probably didn't go our way, and it stayed tighter than we'd have liked. And then obviously the Carlisle game, it's added pressure back on, and the games over the bank holiday obviously have sealed it, but the difficult games to play in against good opposition who are obviously secure or pushing for something the same as Saturday will be. So no game in this league's easy, but I think we've definitely shown what we're about this year without getting the results. And unfortunately, it's led us to where we was, yeah.
And it does show how difficult it is once you get a bit of drift, doesn't it, to claw it back. Even a couple of wins, if the team above you wins, it's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so much we've been adrift. I'd say there's 2 games to go now. It's the 3rd game. Prior, that's when it's obviously happened. But I think we've went toe to toe with a lot of high quality opposition this year, and no one could have argued if results swung either way. And unfortunately, we haven't been on the right end of it. So I think we've given it a good go, and we've fought until the death. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. So we're all really disappointed in there. Yeah.
It was all those 1-0 defeats, wasn't it? Was it 14-15 in the season?
Well, yeah, you could say that was just the season, isn't it, really? Not just the 1-0s, it's the draws or the losses. It doesn't matter how you lose or win. But as I say, I felt like we've been in most games, but obviously when you don't win and you lose, then obviously the table speaks for itself, doesn't it?
I know you said you're focusing on 2 more games, but what next for you?
Yeah, I personally, I don't know 2 yet. I know there's been a lot of change at Hull. There's been 2 managers. There's been sporting directors since I've been here changed. So I've been in close contact with the first team coach Andy Dawson and the staff like Andrew Balderston and stuff like that. They've always kept close contact with me, seeing how I was. But it's my option year now, so I think it's a discussion to be had, maybe whether I move on and try and settle somewhere for a permanent. Is possibly what I'm going to do for next year, to try and get me and the family settled and set base somewhere and try and progress again in my career.
For the moment, though, it's focusing on the next 2 games and trying to end things with at least a bit of a positive.
Definitely it is, yeah. That's what I know everyone wants to do. I know I definitely want to do that. I want to go out on a good note, even though it's difficult for the fans. I want to give them something. Chesterfield will be a good atmosphere at the weekend, and then of course the last home game of the season it'll probably be emotional. Obviously there'll be a lot of emotion involved. I don't think it'll feel like a normal last game of the season. I think it'll obviously be a little bit different, but the 2 games are important that we try and keep playing for the badge and the club and everything that the fans are fighting for at the minute. So I think it's important that we go out there and represent them, not just ourselves. Yeah.
Get money for your old phone, MazumaMobile.com.